Wait, Tiffany stole money from you to buy the plane ticket to go to South Africa.
Go back to the US. Basically, my card information. So what happened was with the tunnel is I said that thing about she must tell the viewers, about the money that she took from my account. I'll tell you the whole story now. And then she said, no, she bought her own ticket. Then I said, no, Tiffany, here's the proof. So I took my phone up, I hold it in front of the camera. I say, here's the proof um, about the fraud case that I opened up against you, even though my bank notified that because we are married, there's nothing they can do about it. And we are married inside community of property, right? Um, so they couldn't actually, what's the word, um, file a
Hmm.
fraud case, a fraud for my card. And she said no, she bought the ticket, and then they gave her the opportunity to, because I don't know if you noticed on the tell-all, she had her phone in her hand on one stage.
No, I didn't notice that.
Um, I think it was on part one or part two, whichever way. There's a slight, um, basically, where you can see she's holding her phone in her hand, and she was given the opportunity to show the camera that listen, she bought the tickets, and she couldn't do that. Tiffany used her money to go back to the States in, I think, July to go fetch Daniel. That's another thing you guys didn't know. Daniel was here.
Oh, jeez. Okay, okay, interesting. So wait, so
Daniel was,
before you continue, so how long was Daniel in South Africa for?
I'm going to be honest with you, it's about
About how much long?
more
Sorry,
or
sorry.
less. About 2 months, more or
Okay,
less. I'm
okay.
talking in the direction. As we speak, I cannot go to America, but now with me and Tiffany getting a divorce, there is a possibility that I can get a 7 day visa. That's what I found out by the consular officer or something, by the embassy. I can
Mhm.
get a 7 day visa to go and fight Tiffany in court for visitation rights, for example, for Carly. Um, until I'm divorced, I won't be able to go. But when I'm divorced, I will be able to get a tourist visa or whatever, to go that side. Let me just say with this that I don't have a criminal record. I would have had my visa by now if Tiffany didn't lie the first time about it and tell me that everything is submitted. We are waiting for a date for the interview. Everything is good. If she didn't lie then about that, I mean, I would have had the visa already.
Is there a reason
But she
why she
didn't
lied?
submit all the paperwork. Well, she says that we weren't in a good place, and she wasn't sure if it's a good idea to bring me that side. But that time we were like arranging for her to come to me and come and visit, and everything was good. So it started to feel for me like I'm just a vacation husband.
On the tell all, Tiffany said that um she said that before the tell all, you had told her to not say certain things on the show because obviously after the whole situation happened with the camera and stuff, she then said that you had tried to tell her not to say anything. Can you give me more information on that? Was that true? Did you tell her not to say certain things or
So what?
whatnot?
And the tell-all came up, and she called me actually the day of the tell-all, and she said, um, "How are we going to do this with where we are at the moment?" I said, "Well, we can tell the world that we are in a difficult place at the moment. I mean, things is not sunshine and roses. I mean, unless you tell me otherwise." So she told me. Firstly, she asked me, "I must wear my wedding ring." Okay.
Hmm.
Secondly, she told me that let's just agree that we are in a difficult place and we are fixing things, and you must make it known to the world that you screwed up and you want to fix things. I said, okay, yes, I will do that if that's what will make you feel better, or if that will work to get my family back, I'll do that. You know. And then she said, literally like an hour before we started filming, she still said, "Love you." Okay, you see on camera. Um, yeah, there's certain things that will stay in between us and those type of things. You know. Like she didn't want the world to. She didn't want to throw out the dirty laundry. That's what it comes down to.
The Tiffy obviously did say that after 3 days of being in SA, she then discovered that you had another girlfriend and that the other girlfriend had been paying for your bills at XYZ. So, I mean, is there truth to what she said there, or what's the situation
There
there?
is
Because
some truth to it. Some
hmm
truth to it. I'm not denying it.
hmm
Me dating two women at a time, yes, that was true. Um, was Lauren aware of it? Yes, Lauren was. Right before the tell-all. If I knew what I knew now, before we filmed the tell-all, sorry, let me just say that rather, the tell-all would have been totally different.
hmm
Because
So,
then I would have fought fire with fire.
okay.
I mean, I was accused of infidelity, um, when I posted me and Lauren for the first time last year in November.
hmm
But now I know that literally a month or so before that, Tiffany literally went to go sleep with another guy in New Jersey. Um, Things like that, that I didn't know when I was filming the tell.
Okay.
And that's
So,
when the camera smashing came in because she had to prove that she bought the ticket and she couldn't. And I proved that I filed the fraud thing. Keep in mind that I was using a phone that day, that specific day. I was using a phone with a cracked screen. So I presume that's why they didn't actually show it. But yeah, needless to say, it was hard for me to log into my physical bank. I could only get into my emails to show the fraud thing that I logged and the amount and everything, you know. Uh, because the screen couldn't click everywhere. I couldn't get into my banking app in that moment, and it was adrenaline rush pumping, and it was me being upset and shaking and all those things. But how it came that I smashed the camera was because she couldn't prove it, and I proved the fraud thing, and still she went and she said, "I'm lying," and that's when I stood up and I smashed the camera. You with me? Because she's making this thing look like she's innocent, but she can't prove nothing. That's why I smashed the camera because it just made me so upset with how can she literally, when the proof is there, say that I'm still lying.
how far are you into the divorce?
So I served Tiffany with the divorce papers. Um, I did serve her with the first copy. When I served her with the first copy, she asked me to please be patient because the previous one that I served with, well, the previous certificate I gave her was falsified. Um, so now she wants to do it on her own, right?
hmm
So I said, okay, when will this happen? No, she's getting money soon. And by the end of November, beginning December, she will then go see a divorce lawyer and she will get it done. So I said, Tiffany, but just make sure that the settlement, the agreement is the same like mine. I mean, I cut myself short in that agreement. I can send it to you actually, just also keep it confidential.
Okay.
Um, I cut myself short. I said that I'll settle for one visitation a year where we pay half off for the plane tickets. Meaning, I pay to come here, she pays for the return. And I said that I will pay $200 for each child, but I'm not paying it to Tiffany. Why am I not paying it to Tiffany? Because the month of November, last month, I sent money to Tiffany and she used it as an excuse of it is for clothes for Carly and for medicine, only to find out that it wasn't true. It wasn't what she used the money on. Because Tiffany always told me she wants receipts um, when she gives me money. And when I asked her for the receipts for what I send money for, it was a big issue because how dare I question that now?
And you know what's one thing Tiffany has still today not mentioned to the public that I also have proof of? The first season that we did, 90 Day Fiance, the other way.
Mm-hmm.
The first season. She doesn't tell the public that I signed over $6,000 to her. That she won't say. Ask me what happened with that $6,000. Till today, I don't know.
Wow.
But, you know, she's quick to mention that she sent me this or that or that. But, I mean, she doesn't mention about the $6,000 that I signed over to her. So the $6,000 came in with TLC paying me out for appearing fee for the show. So I signed over 4 episodes to Tiffany.
Crazy.
And she doesn't mention that. I still have the paper that I sent in. You see how she's playing victim, but she doesn't state certain things. Because if she says those certain things, it turns the table a bit. I mean, everyone has good in them, right? I'm not saying I'm an angel, but everyone has good in them. I'm not as bad as I look on TV. It's just Tiffany knows which buttons to push. If Tiffany wants me to lose my shit, then she cuts me off from the kids. She knows how to play my stuff. She knows what strings to pull.
When you're on a show now and you are being portrayed, in a certain way, what happens is that for some viewers who have been through a relationship of some sort of domestic violence or something like that per se, a lot of us will just focus on the what's the word I'm looking for here? We'll focus on the things that look similar, the things that are triggers or whatever. So I think, with that being said, I think that's why there are some people who are like, hold on a minute. Tiffany likes to play victim and she probably does certain things that's going to portray yourself in a certain way. And then also on top of that, TLC are also going to do some sort of, editing that may also make you look like that as well, which is why obviously for me, I always ask the question, I don't understand why anyone would put themselves on a show that would then put them in a light that for others who don't see Tiffany as the one that could potentially be the one who is the problem and only going to focus on you being the problem. It's like, why put yourself in that position? Do you know what I mean? To always be put on a show that's going to portray you in that light. You know what I mean? Because obviously the worst thing you want as a person, and I think obviously as a man, to be fair, is to be put on a TV show and then you're portrayed as someone that could be abusive when you may know for yourself that you're not. Do you know what I mean? And I think the question is,
Yes, and you won't believe me, like what we film and what you see on TV, you won't believe the difference. It's as if they would take one scene, but they would take 3 incidents and put it into one.
Mm-hmm.
So they will let us film by this one place and talk about 3 topics. Then film by another place and talk about the same 3 topics. But the editing is so good, like, how can I say this? It's, even though you try so hard to not look like that when you are filming, the way they edit it, it falls into a puzzle in a way that you won't believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that actually the day when I was watching how they edited the cameraman scene. When I flipped out about the cameraman.
Yeah.
They don't show the whole story of what happened. How did it come that I triggered? How did it come that I lose my shit on that day? And Tiffany also won't even make it known to the public